Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CPS Reports, and we are back with another episode. We are doing our recap of the UFC 305. Dricus Du Plessis beating Israel Adesanya. With me recapping this wonderful fight card is brother Jedi and brother AD. How's it going?
What can they say now, bruh? What can they say now? What
Uh,
can they say? They can say nothing, bruh.
DDP
Champion of the
is the
motherfucking world.
absolutely blue. Fought phenomenally. But let's get straight into it, guys. This fight went out almost very similarly, almost very accurate to what we were describing. I know AD had his what do you call this graphic on screen, his name card, and he had it titled as Dricus to get the win in the fourth round. TKO. Wasn't a TKO, it was a
Yeah,
submission.
I
But it
said
was
TKO. I said TKO. I won't lie.
but it was fourth round. I
Yeah.
know Chetty and myself were alluding to a possible submission as well. But listen, just a fantastic fight back and forth. Easy fought a fantastic fight. He was flawless, but he did come up against someone that was pushing him back. But let's start with you, AD, before we make our rounds on the table to give ourselves our recap. What's your thoughts on it on this fight? Give us your perspective on the overall experience as watching Dricus holding up that title with the South African flag.
Yeah, I think first of all, bro, we need to take a moment to once again just appreciate this moment in history that we lucky to be alive through. Just the way he's carrying himself, absolute
Mm,
champion in and
mhm.
outside of the ring, and I think he's a
Both.
fantastic advert for the country, and he's really doing great things and kind of, so to speak, putting us on the map.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get to the fight itself, I thought what struck me immediately was that once the fight started, Dricus wasn't dictating the tempo. Izzy
Mm-mm.
was kind of holding the center, and that concerned me immediately because then I thought Izzy's going to start finding
Mhm.
his range, getting his reach, picking him off at range, and it's just going to be a very long night for Dricus. But you have to just appreciate the game plan and the preparedness that Dricus and his team comes
Yeah.
into fights with. Every
Yeah.
fight is different, and they plan accordingly for that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, he implemented the game plan perfectly. And I mean, even better than perfectly, almost, because he didn't only out wrestle him, he also outstruck him. That got him to
Yeah.
the wrestling and then finished him.
Yes.
And it was just a
Yeah.
great moment. And yeah, very obviously very happy about the result.
Oh, and absolutely. How was your heart watching the fight?
I mean, as you know, but I didn't watch it live, and I knew the result.
Oh,
So
yes, 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 yes.
so yeah, my
That's
heart was
true.
fine. Um,
Oh,
but
my
again,
soul.
very happy with the result.
Yeah, fantastic result. Jada, give us your thoughts, brother man. I'm sure you're over the moon as well.
Yeah, no, very ecstatic for the Dricus Du Plessis and obviously for all the South Africans and for UFC also for having such a not one in a lifetime event, but the first or
All African, yeah.
African championship. And yeah, no, very happy for the result. It's can't say exactly how we thought it would go down, but we kind of knew that eventually Dricus in the championship round is gonna show that
Usually.
class power,
Yeah.
which is what he
That's
did.
what you
But
said.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro, we knew it was gonna happen. Well, we as South Africans knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um, but as AD said in the beginning, I think
Mm.
the first two rounds for me, the opening of the
Mhm.
first two rounds, you were like, "Oh shit, bro, this man is
Absolutely, yeah.
controlling the pace and standing his ground." You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Which did seem a bit concerning,
Mhm.
but again, going back to the game planning of the Monefasa and Dricus Du Plessis, flawless. The Oaks don't know how they're doing it, but they obviously getting it right every single time. But, in a way that Dricus is just too dominant in every fight that
Yeah.
he goes into.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Bro, I think Izzy came in the best that he came in, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. He
Dricus
looked
was smart enough
intense.
to kind of figure out a way to interrupt
Mhm.
his timing,
Mhm.
especially with that left kick the whole time. And every
Yes.
time
Yeah.
Turkis did take something, you could see like immediately
Yes.
close the distance and tried to give it back every single time,
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
And then in the last 2 minutes of every fight, of every round, you could see on very strong, and that kind of gave him more of a momentum. It gave him his momentum with each round got more and more and more and more. So in the fourth round, um, you could see the pace was more on his side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though he was breathing very heavy after that third round, you could see the momentum was on his side. And if he didn't finish easy in the fourth round, you could, for me personally, I felt like he was going to do it in the fifth.
In the fifth round.
Because in the post fight, like Dricus said, once he took him down in the fourth, Izzy wasn't really
Resisting him.
defending properly or resisting.
Yeah.
He kind of accepted the plus power blanket and was like, okay, fuck, bro, whatever happens now, if he TKOs
It's true, bro.
The way it looked, bro.
It's so true.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you
see, landed those right hands and took him down. We could kind of see, okay, this is the end now, bro.
This is gonna be the end.
The fuck. Like that. It was very hard to see Izzy getting up from there, especially once they took his back. You could see it now. It was done.
Finished. Did you alluded to something which I think is what was paying dividends in the fight, and that was Brother Sai. Wasn't Brother Sai, but there's Brother Sai. But what was quite significant is, for me, the two factors was, you said Israel was dominating the first minute to 2 minutes of the rounds, which was very evident. And then obviously the second half of each round, Dricus was dominating that. What was paying dividends is when Dricus strikes did land, Izzy looked odd in the way he was shaking it off. You know what I mean? Like
he was wearing those shots, bro. Like,
he was wearing the shots.
The difference in the power by the way they were reacting to each other's shots.
Fantastic. The only time that I was really getting concerned about Dricus was before the third round, was the cumulative damage he was taking to the mid section. Because when Izzy did hit him and hit him there a few times, Dricus would grunt and he would move back and you would hear him go. And also when the few of those deep kicks did land, it stopped Dricus. It made him pause, and I was like, this guy is taking punishment here. It was sucking out the life of him. And the wrestling exchanges
is insane.
The wrestling exchanges in the second round was also very, very intense for both fighters, particularly on Dricus' side. He was really putting a lot of effort, because I felt like he was actually taking a bit of damage in that second round on the feet, and then he shot that takedown, looked for the submission, and probably went through a little bit of an adrenaline dump as well, because he did look gas coming into the third round, taking damage to the stomach, and then he was looking to reset that third round, and then in the fourth round it was like a stark difference, because that's when you started also noticing damage was wearing on Izzy. He looked a bit slower to react to the shots that Dricus was landing on him. He would dance a bit too long, going back. And that gave Dricus more time to keep closing that distance and do what he wanted to do and land the takedown and get the submission. I think what we have to sort, or not just us, because we obviously know we support the guys, like African fans, but I think the world of MMA have to start recognizing the dude's ability to stand as a champion and beat elite fighters like this. I mean, he fought 3 of the best guys in this division, in the middleweight division, and beat them in a way that looked pretty dominant. And I think the general consensus around him being clunky and awkward and all of that needs to sort of be reframed now, because that clunky and awkwardness is getting him results. You know what I mean? I think everyone was pretty much thinking Izzy was going to dominate this fight, and look, rightfully so. Izzy came in quite strong. He was jacked up in the right ways, and he fought a really good fight. I mean, for the most part, his striking was a little bit more accurate than Dricus's, and it's just that, I don't know, Dricus just made out of granite, dude. The dude just took the shots and walked Izzy down, and when he hit Izzy, the effects were completely different. Because for Izzy to not resist the takedown in the fourth round meant that the damage of the strikes did have to make some kind of effect.
He was rocked, bro.
You know what I mean?
Running away, bro.
Yeah,
running away.
He turned his back and went the other way.
He was trying to get away from this man, bro.
Exactly. That tells you, nah, I don't want to fight. You know what I mean? I'm hurt. I'm trying to get away, bro.
He was getting hurt, yes.
He turned his back and went the other way.
Yeah. Like even Dricus's leg kicks that you said, the left eye kick, even though it didn't land as much, it was really making Izzy think twice. And then Izzy came out and said that the leg kicks that Dricus was throwing, although it didn't sting, he said the impact was so heavy that made him also stop and reset his stance. First time Warner came out and said the game plan was perfect for this one. If Izzy switch, you switch, and keep it on the opposite stance every single time. It worked perfectly fine. It actually made him end up winning the fight. So now the question is, because Eddie
And
said
the
that,
and
eh?
the whole thing of letting Easy lead early.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yes,
He didn't try and push Easy or anything like that. He like
he
waited
said
and
that.
waited.
Yeah, yeah. Dricus actually made that point very clear in the post conference as well by saying that even when he did do the wrestling exchanges, he didn't kind of force. He didn't want to expend too much energy to try and keep Easy down because he knows Easy is quite great at getting up. So he didn't really try and push on the pace. I think the fourth round takedown was really the one that he tried to keep Easy down, and I'm actually going to really submit you now. And look what happened when he didn't intend to submit Easy, and he got it right. So the question I'm going to leave to the table now for you guys, because Eddie alluded to this a while back. I mean, we went for a run, and Eddie was saying that he's actually quite concerned if Easy does lose this fight because it's back-to-back title losses. So before we move to
Okay.
Dricus, what's going to be the next best move for Israel Adesanya in the UFC? 80.
I think the best thing for him now is to move up to light heavyweight, bro. I think
You.
he's pretty much done it all at middleweight, and and it feels like it's the end of an era for him, or for us as MMA fans.
Yo,
It's the end
big
of the easy era.
statements.
No, but I mean, he's 35, bro. He's 35. Dricus is
Uh-huh.
30. So it's almost like Dricus is where he was when he was peaking. You know what I mean? So he's like kind of handed over the reign now to Dricus. I think he's got to go up to 205, bro. Get one tune-up fight there, and then if Pereira's still champion, do the trilogy. And after that, I would say retire, bro.
That is massive.
Yeah.
What?
I would, yeah.
That is massive.
Because
I
he
don't know,
lost
eh?
now, I didn't know if he gets a title fight against
No.
Alex.
Nah, that's why I say tune-up fight.
To fight somebody.
Tune-up fight.
Yeah.
Maybe two fights at light heavyweight and then fight for the title and retire. Again, also just to kind of add to this, bro. If you look at the middleweight division, who hasn't easy fought, and which of those opponents would you like to see him fight again? For me, it's none of them, bro. I wouldn't want to see him fight.
I think the only way
if
he gets back at the title is to beat Strickland.
Yes,
you know,
I also think so.
Push Strickland out of the way, then he gets a rematch probably, bro.
But, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think I could argue with that. But at the same time, it's like apparently the Strickland Dricus fight has been made already.
Yeah,
yes,
that's official.
So if Strickland loses, I guess you can make an argument for him fighting Easy, but I don't know if that would immediately warrant a title shot. He's lost 2 fights in a row, bro.
2 title fights in a row.
He definitely doesn't get a title fight anyway.
He lost 2 title fights.
So yeah, for me, it's got to be light heavyweight. I mean, there's
But he denied that in the press conference, eh? He's like, I don't want to go up to light heavyweight. They asked him about it. He's like, nah, I don't want to.
But of course he's scared.
He can't make the weight. He can't make the weight. He tried to make the weight when he fought Lovic, and he couldn't get it. He was like, I just can't fall out that way. He just doesn't make the weight. This fight against Dricus was his heaviest he's ever fought. Hey, Jed?
Imagine Easy and Jerry. I think Jerry's gonna brass him, bro.
Yeah, they're all too big for him, man. And he said it himself. He just can't make that size. It's not his natural size. Dricus can get that weight quite easily. I think he might have been 200 pounds in this fight against Easy on this night. So he can definitely get it. But I think Easy's probably going to have to wait to see who the winner between Strickland and Dricus is, and also who the loser or winner is between Khamzat and Robert Whittaker. And that's also
Khamzat even shows up.
Yeah,
if he shows up, yes.
I want to fight Khamzat and just
me too. Me too.
There's also this Imavov, bruh,
who just came up into the ranks.
Yeah, well, I don't think Izzy has fought, so that could be a possible opponent for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think let's just move on the same question to the champion himself, because obviously he has Strickland next. He came out and said that, and Monefus said that after this title fight against Strickland, they would like to go up to 205 and take Alex Pereira on. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Nah, I don't think that's the way it was kind of phrased, bro. It was more like Alex said he wants to come down.
Yes, and then Dricus' response to it was
that he'd rather go up. But I don't think they weren't kind of calling for that fight. That was just a response to what Alex had said, man.
Did you
So
watch
it wasn't like
Monefus' interview?
Nah, I
watch
watched
Mone-
the Dricus.
So I watched both the interviews, and Monefus said that he said if the UFC can give them up until December, they would like to do the fight in December against Pereira 205. That's what Monefus said.
Sorry, bro, you're cutting out.
Backstage after the fight. Monefus had an interview after the fight backstage, right? And he was saying, because they asked him, what is your response to Pereira's post on Twitter? So he said, we won't give him the satisfaction of making up an excuse to lose at middleweight because of the weight cut. So he said, we will go up to 205. If the UFC can bless us in December, 205, December, they will go up 205 and fighting for the title then. That's literally the words he said.
Your internet is super sketchy, but I think I kind of gathered what you said. So they are calling for the fight at 205, is what you're saying?
Yes, well, the response that Monet said was, if the UFC can give them the fight in December, then they're more than happy to do it, but it must be at 205.
Okay, yeah, no, that's what I'm yeah. So, but what I mean is, it's not like they were like looking for it after they beat Izzy. It was like, nah, I'm going up and I'm fighting Alex, right?
No.
But what obviously what Dana said is that if Dricus wins, then we come into South Africa.
That's what they said, yeah.
So, I mean, it could be very well that Dricus's next title defense is in South Africa, bro. And I don't know if, I mean, Pereira's a machine, bro. So there's no problems with him in terms of turnaround time. He does have a fight with Khalil Roundtree, which is, is what it is. But yeah, I'm not sure if the timing is going to align. So, but if it does, obviously, it's a massive fight, bro. And everybody wants to see that.
Yeah, but it must be 205, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. But I also wouldn't mind Strickland in South Africa. I think that would be very entertaining.
That would be super dope.
To get him down here. He's already talking shit, bro. You know that. Like, he's already talking shit on Twitter.
Are you serious?
He doesn't want to come to South Africa because there's the highest crime rate. There's
Strickland.
racism here. Yeah.
Racism.
He was like, nah, we have to fight in Vegas. So he's
Oh
bang.
my
And you were saying in the
soul.
presser, Dricus was still like, yeah, the way he does things, I hope he makes it to the fight if we fight.
Dricus is the best on the mic, bro. You have to give it up to the guy.
Number one trash talk,
So they were actually talking about that. One of the UFC representatives came out in the post-fight press conference, and he was talking about the fight in South Africa, or the event possibly in South Africa. And he listed quite a number of things that's making it a bit challenging. And obviously, one of those things are the financials, the ticket prices. So we as South Africans have to keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully they actually do get the event successfully here. Because I would love to go watch Dricus fight. Defend the title.
He's a superstar now, bro. You beat Izzy, you become a superstar, and it's not like you will have a problem selling out the stadium or wherever they decide to have it. It's obviously, like you said, just the ticket prices, affordability.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that they were struggling with is how do we make sure that the UFC makes money, but also it's affordable to people from South Africa.
300 rand a ticket, bro. Minimum wage bracket. You got to see what the minimum wage is, and then charge like 10% of that minimum wage, bro.
Yo, 10%.
It's not even 300 rand for a pay-per-view to buy the pay-per-view, bro.
Yeah, you pay a lot more than that.
Pay-per-view.
It's like easy 1,000 rand, depending on the
$50.
Depending on the event. Yeah. No, it's more than $50, Jedi.
So $50 is 1,000 rand.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's more than that. I must just double check. Okay. But anyway, guys, Dricus did it. And I think we can all come into agreement here that we expect the man to have a good reign. How long, we don't know. But at the moment, he's looking like a very tough outfit to beat. And Dricus, we just wish him all the best. May it continue.
Long live the king! But just to get back to that point, now I'm seeing that pay-per-views are $79. $79.99. It's mental.
Okay.
That's an amount, yeah. For the US Oaks, for the US Oaks, it's affordable, but for us, it's not that affordable.
It's like
but okay.
1.5, yeah.
Pay-per-view. But that's like to watch it online. That's not to go to the event.
Okay.
Yeah. So
watch it online.
That's how much it costs just to watch it online, bro. To the event's gonna be at least double that.
Yeah, literally.
For the worst seats.
But let's hope it comes out here and they get it done right for South Africa as well. It really would be amazing to have a UFC event in South Africa. Where it would be, we don't know, but as long as it's here.
We
But
deserve
okay,
it now.
boys, we deserve it now. Dricus is making it happen for us. Let's keep it moving, gents. Co-main event. We saw Kai Kara France performance of the night by knocking out Steve Erceg in the first round. Um, Eddie, give me your thoughts on this one because we all sort of lent towards Steve Erceg to being the more decorated fighter. I still think he is, but we always knew that Kai Kara France with the hands of stone always has a chance to knock people out, and he
Yeah.
did it quite successfully. Give us your thoughts, Eddie.
Absolutely devastated, bro.
Yeah.
Like according to the bookies, Steve Erceg was the one sure thing on the card, or the one thing that everybody kind of had a consensus was the most
Mm.
likely to happen. So yeah, to see it end like that, we did
Yes.
kind of discuss Kai's power in the lead
Mm.
up, and we said that Pantoja did catch Erceg a couple of times, and if Kai catches him, it might be a different story, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Full credit to Kai, bro, absolute monster. Um,
Mm.
yeah. But I was saying to Jed just before we started recording that I think if that fight happens 5 times, Erceg wins 4 out of those 5. So
I
I
feel
think
the
if they
same
run it
way.
back, Erceg, because yeah, I just think he's the more, again, like we were saying in the build up, more well-rounded,
Mhm.
better reach, more technical. But yeah, it's a fight, bro. And
The fight, yeah.
Kai caught him. Kai caught him. He did everything right for me. Even though he
Mm.
got caught, he backed out. He had his hands up. But it's a fight. You get caught, and Kai made the most of it. And yeah, great
Mhm.
finish for him. So yeah,
And performance
sometimes that's the
bonus.
way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Jedi?
Yeah, I mean, same as AD, we kind of all thought that Usyk is gonna just be too technical, controlling the range, pushing him back and whatever, and doing all that stuff. And just unlucky for Usyk,
Mm.
he walked into one of those big hands. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
knocked him out. But as I think you said the last when we had the preview, that Kai
Mm.
Kara France has quite a lot of first round KOs.
Got a lot, bro.
So it's not that surprising that he won in this fashion. You know what I mean? If he is or was gonna win, which he did,
Yeah.
it would be this way.
That's why, yeah.
Um, the
Yeah.
only thing that makes it a bit tough is that Usyk is a number one guy. So it was quite surprising to see him get caught like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean
Hmm.
that's fighting. It goes
Well,
like
I
that. You
mean,
know what I mean?
Steve Erceg is technically ranked number 7 coming into the fight and
Oh
still is
fuck!
ranked number 7. He only
Oh,
had
Kai's
that,
number
that
one.
I think Kai is number 2 or number
Kai's number
3.
4,
Number
but
4, look
probably
there.
gone up now after that
Okay.
win.
Probably, yeah, he's guaranteed the title shot because he's the only fighter that didn't fight Pantoja of that list of top 5, top 6.
Mm.
Mm,
He's the only one that didn't get Pantoja
Oh.
yet. And
yeah.
my thoughts on the fight as well is very similar to your guys. I think if Steve Erceg's defensive going backwards would change, so if his guard is not necessarily that long, where his hands are far apart from him, defending like this and moving backwards, if he can keep it a little bit closer, because Kai Carter-France threw that exact combo 3 times in that same round. Like he literally threw it early, waited, threw it again about a minute later, and then he did it again on the third attempt. It landed. So it wasn't that Steve Erceg couldn't see this because Kai threatened with it a few times in the round. So he should have noticed going backwards. Kai, when he steps in, right foot goes down, right hand comes up, ends with the left hook, and he did it more than once. So Usyk defended it the first few times, but the first time Kai did it, it just scraped Usyk's head like that. So you should have seen it coming because Kai was pushing for that exact combo the whole time. So I was quite surprised that he didn't successfully defend that shot because it was the only shot
Mm.
that Kai Cotto France has. That's his thing. I've watched this man in the Ultimate Fighter, watched him in the UFC, and he's notorious for first round finishes. So he doesn't really get a chance to show his game plan or show what he can do if the fight would go longer than the first round. And when it has gone longer than the first round, he lost. He lost to Brandon Moreno twice in that fashion. He's not familiar with going into wrestling exchanges outside of 5 minutes. So I would love to see Kai Cotto France I don't know if he can go 5 rounds against Pantoja, bro. And if he doesn't knock Pantoja out in round 1 or round 2, I don't think he can do it any further because we don't see him wrestle. He doesn't. He never tries to even
He's
wrestle.
gonna get
So
out wrestled there. Bro,
yeah, that's my.
Panto's just taking the back.
You see what I'm saying? And that's my
Unstoppable.
concern about Kai Carter France going into the title fight. He's gonna have to learn to wrestle properly and also utilize it in a way where the way Easy would maybe excuse me, not Easy wrestle in a way where it sets up his hands. So he's not gonna wrestle to wrestle and dominate wrestling, but wrestle to make the opponent think that he could possibly wrestle as well. But there's money just to keep the fight standing. Actually, good
Mm.
takedown defense, maybe a good judo throw here and there, but keep it boxing. If he doesn't implement that to his game, I think he's going to struggle against someone like Pantoja, who's obviously we know is like the most relentless wrestler in that division. So
Mm.
yeah, fantastic performance. I think the bonus is well deserved because it was a great knockout though. Because I mean, he
Yeah.
flattened,
Just to go back
flattened.
there, um, I think the main problem was that Erceg went straight back. You
Yes,
know
and
what I
his
mean?
hands were out like
He
that.
didn't try and pivot to everything. He just went straight back, and that left hand came up.
Yes, literally. Right hand went down, left hand went out forward in front of him like that, which is an open guard essentially as you're moving backwards. The hand was going to come because, especially because when Kai threw the right hand first, it meant that the hand goes down. Kai Crowder lands the left hook. It was brilliant. I just was quite surprised that Usyk didn't recognize it after Kai literally threw it more than 3 times. That's what caught me by surprise. But anyway, great performance from Kai. I think the performance bonus is well deserved. And I think Pantoja is going to be the next fight for him. If I'm not mistaken. I don't see him unless he fights Moreno again. That's the person who beat him last. So yeah, let's see what happens there because I think both Brandons need to get a win before they can shoot for the title again. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair for me.
Yeah, it makes the most sense, eh? But let us know in the comments what you guys think about the UFC flyweight division right now. At this point, we are going to keep ourselves moving on. The next fight we have Jed's number one Dan the Hangman fight of the night performance against Mateusz Gamrot, and well deserved fight of the night for me. Hey, well deserved fight of the night. Absolutely bloody from the first minute, and these guys put on a fantastic show. 80. Give me your thoughts, brother, because you and I were leaning towards Mateusz Gamrot as the more superior wrestler. But things changed very quickly within that first round, eh? So give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, great fight, like you said. Rightfully fight of the night for me.
Mhm.
Dan Hooker, absolute animal, bro. Absolute animal. Tough as nails. But yeah, we did predict Mateusz Gamrot to be the better wrestler.
Yeah.
He was, but Dan Hooker did some really good defensive wrestling, I thought. He used his
Mhm.
guillotine very well to kind of make
Get
Mateusz
him.
hesitate a little bit. Yeah,
Yes.
in terms of
Yes.
like, if you're going to try and take me down, there's going to be an element of danger here for you, which I think
Yeah.
did a very good job to deter Mateusz. But at the
Mm.
same time, when it came to the feet, they were both exchanging blows. Dan Hooker did kind of, yeah,
More
Dan Hooker
damaging.
definitely, yeah, did more damage and also was kind
Mm.
of like walking him down. Looked
Mm.
like if the fight had gone another 2 rounds, that he was going to be the winner. So
Probably gonna
yeah,
win. Yeah.
rightful winner. But yeah, excellent fight. Um, Obviously got it because I did bet on Mateusz Gamrot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Hooker, absolute animal, and yeah, very excited to see his next fight for sure.
Jedi, I mean, AD is a bit gutted about it. I mean, I don't blame him because, like you said, he predicted Mateos. It looked to be like it could have been him, but I think one thing that's quite significant before I give it to you, Jedi, in that first round, it looked like Mateos after he got knocked down, there was a massive adrenaline dump towards him. He's like he was struggling after that. Give me your take on it. What's your take on the fight?
Yeah, I'm actually not surprised. As I said, bro, I
Mm,
thought that Dan Hooker would do well against a guy like this.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm very happy that he actually won. Um,
of course.
Gamrot, yeah, I think he came in a bit overconfident and underestimated Hangman,
Mm,
but
mm,
styles make fights, and what I said in the preview was that he needs to watch out for Dan Hooker's guillotine,
yes.
which is what made him cautious and kept him kind of
Mm,
standing, striking, and things like that. But Dan is a beast, bro. Dan
Yeah.
is as tough as nails, bro. You gotta
Yeah.
really
Tap him out.
I don't know. You gotta come up with a proper game plan to beat a guy like that.
Mm.
People
You
may
gotta put him
think
away,
he's
bro. That's the
You
only
yeah,
have to.
way.
Yeah,
yeah,
You
you
gotta put him away.
have
That's
to.
the only option.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
So for
it's a
me
big fact.
personally, I'm not surprised by the result.
Well, you called it. You said Dan the Hangman to win. And
Yeah,
yeah,
But he
like
didn't say
from
why. He just said nah because he likes Dan.
because he likes Dan, yeah.
because I like
Yeah, he was making emotional calls
yeah.
here. But okay, what can I say, bro? You got it right.
Look,
Nah, bro, I went back and I watched Gamrot, like film of Gamrot.
yeah.
To be honest, for me, I don't know. I didn't see anything that was gonna make me think like it's something that Dan hasn't seen. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm,
There's
mm.
not much that this guy hasn't seen, especially when
Yeah.
he trains with a guy like Izzy and he trains with Volkman and those
Yeah.
kind of dudes. There's not much that they haven't seen or they haven't kind of prepared for, or like
Yeah.
at Gamrot for
True.
me seemed like a very textbook kind of dude. He's boxing his textbook, he's wrestling his textbook.
Mm,
So if you know what a guy's gonna do and he doesn't really do unconventional things, what he
mm.
does is out of the playbook. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know he's going to go into that position after this. That's why I felt like he's going to find it hard against Dan, especially Dan's also
Mm.
lengthy, and you're going to try and wrestle with a guy
Yeah.
that's
6 foot.
taller than most of the opponents that you fought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I
And he
felt like Dan's
struggled.
going to be a tough dude for him to
Yeah.
figure out. I obviously
Absolutely.
didn't know if Dan was going to win or not. I did feel like the fight was 50-50, but I felt like Gamrot's strength is going to play into Dan's. You know what I mean? And if they're going
Mm,
to keep it
mm.
on the feet, then I'm going to go with Dan.
Yeah. 100%. In the first fight, you can't bet against Dan unless he's up against someone really elite. But I mean, going 5 rounds with Dustin Poirier sold it for me, and I was like, this guy is an absolute animal.
Mm,
In this fight, one of the key factors that Dan Hooker was using that made it quite significant is the deep kick the hell out of Mateusz. You could see he was sucking the energy out of him for every freaking deep kick that he threw, sucked the life out of Mateusz. Because then you could notice after round one, Mateusz couldn't shoot with authority. He couldn't. He had no power in his
mm,
shot in terms of like shooting for the wrestling takedown. Struggled with it. And even when he did get Dan down, Dan was just like, this is nothing, dude. We're gonna get up and then you're gonna see me push you back again. And like Eddie was saying, he landed the more damaging shots, and I think that's what tipped it in his favor. Because Mateusz wasn't
mm.
not accurate. Let's be real. Like when they were even in the third round, these shots were all landing, but like Jed alluded to, it was more textbook striking from off the back foot to get away. And you could see Mateusz was like, "Yo, I hope this. I'm glad it's not another round here," because you could see
Mm.
he was really like faded after that
Relentless,
third
bro.
round.
Yeah.
Dan
So
Hooker was
And
relentless.
like I'm saying, Dan didn't look surprised by anything, man. It wasn't
Mhm.
like I'm saying, like he wasn't thrown off by anything that Gamrot was gonna do
mm,
or try doing.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
exactly.
So the big question is now: Dan Hooker came into this fight ranked number 10 or 11, if I'm not mistaken. Mateusz was ranked number 5. Dan Hooker won the fight, and there was no doubts about it after the result. It was evident that he won it. What does it now mean for Dan Hooker in the lightweight division 80 after taking out the top 5 contender?
It's probably gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I'd really love to see him fight Charles Oliveira.
Oh
Two
yeah,
of
that's a
them,
good
yeah.
fight. That's a very
Whoa!
good.
Really like to see that fight, bro, especially
Yeah,
after his
Charles the
performance, after Dan Hooker's performance on Sunday morning.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it would be a fantastic fight. I think it would just be balls to the walls, hammer and
What
tongs,
about
hopes
Justin Gaethje?
exploding. I mean, that's also would be a great fight, of course.
Mm,
But yeah, immediately when I was kind of trying to think about what happens next for him, I was looking
mm,
at the rankings and I thought, Oliveira would be such a great fight for him. But
yeah,
again, Justin Gaethje would definitely be a close second there for me.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
more than enough options here.
I
But
mean, any
yeah,
one of those guys,
it's
they all
Oliveira
lost,
for
eh?
me.
Oliveira, Gaethje, and Dustin Poirier all coming off losses. So any one of them could be a good call out for Dan Hooker
Fair
for
game,
now.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Rukins really getting the title shot. This was the number 5 guy that he beat. So I think literally any one of those number 3, those
Top
former
three.
title, yeah, you can get any one of them next. Does he beat them?
Yeah, we'll have to
That's
see.
for another day. But
I think,
Jada, you and yeah,
sorry, yeah,
Eddie?
I think if ever there was going to be a chance for Dan Hooker to make a run at, based on the way that he looked on Saturday, I think now would be the time, because I was also thinking about it. I was thinking Dan Hooker's now coming back, and uh, is he gonna be better than he was at the time when he was fighting Poirier? And I thought there was no way, but he proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He
yeah, I
kicks a
think
lot
it's gonna be
more.
very interesting. Yeah, definitely.
He kicks a
I think
lot
it's
more
gonna be
than what he
very
had back
interesting to
then.
see what happens with him in the next
Yeah.
in the short term. So yeah, exciting times.
Well, he puts himself in a position to call out, and that's really good. I mean, his call out was like, "Oh, okay, I'll fight anybody, man. Hey, sheesh." So, yeah. So I think he don't mind who, any of those top five. He's like, give me any one of them. I think Islam still chokes him out again, but yeah, I think Gaethje, Oliveira, or Dustin Poirier would make for a good headliner for the UFC. All right, boys.
Yeah.
We keep it moving swiftly down the list here. The fight that took place before that one was Tuivasa against Biggie Boy, Jairzinho, Rozenstruik. And Rozenstruik came out victorious, split decision, which is strange because, I mean, we also on what happened on the night. The judge gave all 3 rounds to Tuivasa, which was completely
Nah, that's
shocking.
insane.
I was like, what?
Disgraceful.
Nah, that guy was on
How?
drugs. Yeah.
It's legit.
That was the
Um,
first time that
And
they like fired a judge on the night.
on the
Told
night
him,
and
yeah,
also announced it, eh? They also made the
yeah, no
announcement.
more for you.
There
It's
was didn't
crazy.
it also
It's
it
absolutely
happened once
crazy.
before when the fight with Dominic Cruz and what was his name, Jed, that you like so much? Bantamweight fight.
Cody.
Blonde. No,
Oh,
no, no, no,
TJ
not
Dillashaw.
Cody. With TJ Dillashaw and Dominic fought, and most Dominic won that fight. One of the judges in that fight also got they changed it, took him out
Sacked.
of the company. Yeah, they got sacked.
yeah,
It's
it's
Um,
ridiculous, man.
crazy.
It's crazy
so
that that
yeah,
can
I
happen
think
at
it's
this level.
evident that we all didn't agree with that. All 3 rounds going to tie to Ivasa, so it shouldn't have been split. It should have been unanimous. But great fight nonetheless. Eh? 80, what do you make? I wish there was a knockout though. But what do you think about
Yeah, it was a
Jairzinho's
strange one.
performance?
We all came in here expecting somebody to get finished.
Yeah.
When I had seen that the fight had gone the distance, I was very puzzled. Um, I felt, I did feel, however, though, that Ty was a lot more calculated
Yes,
sometimes. Like
he fought different.
he
Yeah.
wasn't just going balls to the walls. He did try and stay on the outside, make reads,
Mm.
and he was a lot more calculated, I thought. But doing that played into Rozenstruik's game. He's the better technical
Mm.
fighter. He moved really well on the night. It
Mm.
was very elusive.
Good.
Ty couldn't touch him. Counter punching was excellent. And yeah,
Yeah.
just a better fighter like we suspected. He was too well rounded for Ty.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Like you said,
unfortunate,
yeah.
but I don't think the UFC are gonna cut Ty. He's just too popular. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He brings
he's
numbers.
gotta. For me, Ty's gotta go fight the can now, like
Fight
the
the
unranked
can.
guy, unranked,
Okay.
because he's on a 6. What's that, 6 now? 5?
6. I think it's
I think this might have been
five.
5. Yeah,
Five.
because it was
Five.
4.
5.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's 5.
yeah. So yeah, there's no way to hide for him really in terms of his most recent results. It's unfortunate
Mm.
because he is such a popular fighter, but yeah, at the end of the day, you got to do the business in the ring, and he hasn't been
Mm.
doing that. So unfortunate, but yeah, fair play to Rozenstruik. Personally, I don't really, not really too invested in this brow's journey. He just seems like he's going to be like a mainstay around the top 10 of the
Mm.
division until he retires. So I don't really see too much more for him going forward. But yeah, it was. I'd be lying if I say it was a great fight. I was very
Yeah.
disappointed that there wasn't a finish,
Mm-hmm.
and doubly disappointed that Ty didn't win. But yeah, so it goes. So it
That's how the
goes.
fight game goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jedi, what's your thoughts, brother? We 80. We know how 80 feels about it.
Yeah. Okay. Firstly, that judge that gave that card was obviously completely wrong.
What's the whole different
Saying
fight?
yeah. But hats off to Jairzinho for winning the fight.
Yeah.
Also, to add to AD's thing, if he's gonna make a
Mm-hmm.
run at it, whatever. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. But in the heavyweight division, if you win like 3 fights, you get a title shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the road to the belt is very short. Um, so Jorginho will always kind of, if he keeps winning, he can be in the talks for like a top 5 guy. I don't know if he's gonna fight
Contender,
for the
yeah.
belt or not, but he'll be around there.
Mm.
Because the Oaks, all in all, honestly, for me, the heavyweight division is not that stacked. Like there aren't a lot of good guys for me.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of good dudes with power that can knock each other out. So yeah, and then for Tuivasa, it kind of looked like he just I don't know, bro. He was very cautious. He didn't seem like the same Ty,
Yes.
and he was probably just trying not to get knocked out.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but also sad that he lost.
Probably. Probably. Excuse me. Yeah, both like we said in the preview, both these guys lost to the more technical guys in the heavyweight division, which is like your Volkovs, Pavlovich, Curtis Blades in them. They're just a little bit a level above the two gentlemen on the screen right now. So I am not in disagreement with what AD was saying about Jairzinho running for the title. I didn't think he could do it when he had that first stunt anyway, when he was knocking people out. Because then he got Ngannou and Ngannou blew at him, and then he basically fell over.
Yeah,
So,
basic.
for
But I
that
mean, that's
reason,
not saying much, bro. That's what Ngannou does to people. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You can't say a brass chinny if he gets knocked out by Ngannou.
No,
But
of
yeah,
course.
That,
I
but
get,
the
I
guy
get, I get
didn't
what
even
you're saying.
touch him. He just
But
fell
then he
over.
fought against.
But
But
man
then he
was
There's so many
he was
people.
he was windmilling, bro.
Yeah, he was.
Rozenstruik, and then just caught him with one shot. But anyway, I need to calm down here, boys.
Getting amped here. But the thing is, he lost to Volkov and Pavlovich after he fought Ngannou. You know what I mean? So the point I'm trying to make is I agree with what you say, and I don't know if he can make a run at the heavyweight because I think Aspinall's going to be the champion for a very long time, and he's going to beat all these guys. He's going to beat every single one of them because he just
But
looks
John
like he's.
Jones isn't gonna beat him, bro.
Nah, that man then came out and said he's thinking about retiring.
Ay.
Scared.
So I think you should, dude. I don't think you should fight Aspinall. You should leave now because you won the title. You on top of the game. Just finish it like that. Come back. I think Aspinall's gonna smoke him. But anyway, boys, let's close our show. Let's close our show
I
off with.
don't think so. But
You don't think
anyway,
so? Woo! Like a banter for another episode.
I
But
don't
let's
think
close our
so.
show off with the welterweight division. We saw Jingliang taking on Carlos Prates. And this is what we said was going to happen. Carlos Prates was going to be the killer. We said he was sniper-like. We knew that he was going to come in with that elite sort of kickboxing style. The dude throws good knees, good leg kicks. And also his striking is smooth, very smooth and accurate. 80, give me your thoughts, dude, because performance of the night, knockout of the night for me. What's your take?
Yeah, excellent performance by Carlos on the night. Gave Lee's first ever knockout, from what I understand. So that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And it was a vicious knockout as well. But leading up to the knockout, he looked very good. He was just too technical for Lee.
Oh, super.
He had a very good understanding or appreciation for distance in the ring. And just used that to his advantage until he found an opening and then just fucking finished him, bro. What a knockout.
Yeah, the double jab into a left hook was just the most crisp you'll ever seen it. But what set it up for him was how good he was chopping down the legs, and especially the inside of Lee's leg. Oh, he was doing it so slick, and it made Lee. He didn't know if he had to stand. He couldn't get to a stance. He couldn't get to a position to set himself. And even when he tried, all the shots that Lee was throwing was just it didn't even land, bro. I was like just watched it go by like he was in the Matrix. Kid, what's your thoughts, brother?
I think we said that leading into it that speed was going to be the biggest difference, and
yes, we did.
Definitely
Yeah,
was like he was just too elusive for for Lee, and just outmatched for me. I think he looks like a killer, bro. He looks like he could be a killer, Carlos.
Oh, so Jada, you didn't watch this one?
I didn't watch the fight. I watched like the highlights. Yeah, he looks very good.
No,
impressive.
So I think we can remember. We must remember the name, as they say. Below, remember the. I think for this bro, we must remember the name Carlos Prates. He's gonna be an absolute dog in this division, and I don't know if he's gonna get a title fight very quickly, but he's definitely gonna have to climb the ranks for sure. So
I think he's about 3 fights away from a title shot if he does it correctly.
So then, what would be the next fight for him in this division? Let's pull up the rankings.
Yo, bro, for me, it's gotta be MVP.
MVP.
That's not a bad fight, eh? That's a very good.
I would love to see that fight, yeah.
Yes, I'm not against that.
Because that
MVP
brings him into the conversation for ranking if he can beat MVP, and that's like a very good kind of foundation for him to start with. So yeah, MVP is the next fight for me. Kevin Holland's got a fight. So yeah, MVP I think is
Neil Magny's fighting also this weekend. Vicente Luque doesn't have a fight. Jeff Neal, so that's top 10.
yeah. I think
Nah,
MVP is looking like fair game there for me at 14, bro.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the next one, most realistically. Jitsuma go nah. Okay,
nah.
that's our recap.
So what
boys.
do you think? Oh yeah, you never saw the fight, Jed.
Jed
You
watched
just
the
No, I
highlights.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, Jed, he's good. Brazil's got a fighter there. I'm telling
looks-
you, he's
looks good.
He was
But does
asking
he know about jiu-jitsu?
he was asking the media for the entry in the press conference.
was that real? Did he really do that?
Yeah.
80? Oh,
He
my
like took out
soul.
his boxes like I got no more inches. Does anybody have one for me?
That is mad. I didn't think he actually did that. I thought it was just a clickbait thing. That's quite funny. Okay, boys, that is our time. That's our recap. We obviously didn't do the preliminaries and the early prelims. We mainly focused on the main card. Jedi 80, thank you so much. We'll do it again possibly for the next one. But for you guys out there, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit notification bell to stay in touch with our content as we bring you guys our previews and recaps for the fight content. Jedi 80, safe, my bro. You guys stay humble, and we will see you guys when we do it again.
Peace.
Much love.
Suid-Afrika. Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie.
Guys.